do I know if people are watching me? I don't understand. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. A little oily there, Shell. Gotta get some of that oil up off of me. Okay. Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of Stand in Your Purpose. This is not a podcast. This is not the Taking Up Space podcast, but it is an offshoot of that. This is a series that I'm going to be expounding upon in relation to standing in your purpose. You know, over the last 3 years, you guys, I have had a monumental introduction to the philosophies of people, how people think, things that I just never would have expected to experience in life. Like in all of my many years on this planet, I have never experienced some of the things that I experienced over the last 3 or 4 years. And, because I know that God never leads me anywhere where I don't benefit from, where I'm not able to convert my experiences into profound testimonies that serve me. I know that God sent me through many of the things that I went through for a purpose. And, I'm going to be using the purpose of all of my experiences to help other people navigate. Even some of the people that I found so frustrating along my way, that may have caused me to befall some of the experiences that I've experienced. I'd like to use my perspectives and what I've seen in my interactions with them, or even in my interactions with the experiences at the hand of them, to be able to assist them. And this is the monumental gift that God has blessed us all with in this life, is to be able to help one another. That is the goal of this life. That is what God created us to do. And in this particular series, I'm going to focus in on a particular aspect of the breakdown of this series. The total series will be involving different segments, one of which is who. Who are you? In order to really grasp the concept of standing in your purpose, you must have certain pillars in place internally to be able to do so. You got to know yourself. So the first pillar that we will be speaking to in our engagement regarding this series will be the who aspect. Who are you? What makes you you? What is your reason for even being here? We're going to hammer that portion in, and we're going to try to get the most of that so that we have a grounding to build from. The second pillar that we're going to speak to is the why. Why were you even created? Or we're going to hammer in the why part under the who aspect as far as why you were created. But the second pillar of this structure is the why, as it relates to why you go about life perceiving things the way you perceive them. Why you look at life the way you do. Why you see yourself the way you see yourself. What experiences could have caused you to now rethink your existence and reimagine yourself from what you once knew yourself to be to the way you see yourself now. And the third aspect is the what. What happened, friend? What exactly happened along your way that has changed you, that has transitioned your own thinking of both yourself, your thinking of God, and your thinking of life in general? What are those things that happen that have led you to this space? And then the last pillar is going to be the how. How do you get beyond this? How do we heal ourselves? Not just fake healing, not just having a conversation with ourselves and putting a Band-Aid on the stuff that really is problematic in our lives that are leading us in these directions. But to really unpack these things and then decide, what is the next move for me? What's the move? What do I do next? What do I really desire to do? At this point in my life, knowing all the things that I know and I have observed of myself and of life and of God and my existence, what do I desire to do next that will really allow me to stand in the fullness of my purpose right now? To make my life worth living at the capacity that I was created to do, that lifestyle that I was born to have. How do I create that in my life, and what steps do I take in embarking upon that journey? I'm super excited about this. So today we're going to speak to the who aspect of standing in your purpose. This is the first pillar that I have, that I feel that I need to elaborate on. The who aspect. When you think of yourself and you think of how we were all conceived, all of us came into this world with the same level of stuff. Not one of us came into this world with anything more than the other. We all were competing and vying to impregnate the egg and to penetrate the egg and to then solidify ourselves within that environment and grow. And then from growth in that environment, we're now pushed out of our mother's womb into the world of light. And then in that environment, we are nursed by our parents and brought up, and at each interval in our growth, we're expected to rise or ascend to a particular level of consciousness, a particular level of knowing. It's as if we've been competing. We've been at war from the moment we came out of our parents' body, whether it was from the moment we came out of our father and darted to impregnate in our mother's egg, or whether it's when we decided that it was time for us to move from the womb into the world of light. There have been insurmountable challenges that we have faced all along the way. The mere fact that I'm here speaking this to you is a miracle. And the mere fact that all of you are all listening to me is nothing less than a miracle. We've beat the odds. We are overcomers by default, just by being born into the world of light. But God says that is not enough. I expect greatness from you. And in that greatness, I'm going to keep this ball rolling. And what we find in life is that we constantly come in and out of this ebb and flow of consistent change. There's nothing but change in this life. There's nothing permanent in this life except for God. That's it. And we're expected to adapt to this change incrementally, step by step. When I did the Bible study, the Bible study yesterday on Jacob, I elaborated very minimalistically as to this passage within the Testament of Jacob, within the Apocrypha. But today I'd like to go deeper into that. And I'm going to go deeper into that because it really establishes the who. The who is who we are organically without the stuff of this life. The who is who we are born as. What do we come into this existence with? What superpowers do we have? And how long do we have them? In the Testament of Jacob, we are going to be listening to Jacob in his last years of his life. And an archangel Michael comes upon Jacob and he tells Jacob that he's going to be transitioning and what to prepare for and how well he is loved and thought of in the heavenly realms by way of all the activity that Jacob did in his life. And many of us could use this passage or these passages within the Apocrypha of the Testament of Jacob as a bird's eye view as to how we are viewed by God. What is the capacity? What are we working with here? What does God see and what does God not see? What we find in the Testament of Jacob is the archangel Michael comes upon Jacob and tells him that God and all of the host of angels have been watching Jacob all along. Through all of the highs and lows of Jacob's life, they have been privy to Jacob's walk. Nothing Jacob has done has gone unnoticed. And that's a testament to many of us that nothing we do in this life goes unnoticed. Everything is a setup for your next best season, friend. Everything in this life is a setup for something bigger and better. And it all is contingent upon how you view you. And what the Apocrypha says in the Testament of Jacob, it conveys a level of worthiness that Jacob sees himself having. Had he not, he never would have risen to the occasion and taken it full accountability and full advantage of the opportunities that were before him. Whether they were the opportunities that came in what people would think would be unfortunate circumstances, such as Esau selling him his birthright. Anybody looking at Jacob at the time would have criticized Jacob and would have said Jacob was taking advantage of his brother by allowing him to sell him his birthright and going above and beyond by writing it down and getting witnesses to testify that Esau was willing to sell Jacob his birthright. And that Jacob bought this birthright at cost, meaning he didn't go back and forth with Esau and haggle him down as it related to how much money he would spend for the birthright. He allowed Esau to tell him the worth of it, and Jacob purchased it for that price. Many of us today would say, Jacob was a swindler. Jacob is a trickster. Jacob tricked Esau and he swindled him. He didn't have to do that. That's his brother. Why would he do that? But what we find also in the text is the storyline that happens before all of this even began, before these two brothers were even birthed into the world, that Rebekah would have an interaction with God, and God would tell Rebekah that Esau would serve Jacob. And Jacob, not knowing this, would be put in a situation by God. God would set up a scenario, and Jacob would take advantage of it. He would follow his instincts, and he would move on it. He wouldn't deny his instincts and shy away and look to be God in the situation and say, "Oh, I shouldn't do this. This isn't what God would like for me to do." He doesn't prejudge the scenario. He takes it for what it is and he acts on his instincts. But were they truly his instincts? What we find in the Testament of Jacob is after the archangel Michael comes upon Jacob and tells Jacob to get ready because he's going to be transitioning. He's blessing Jacob with kind words and telling Jacob how monumental he has walked this path of life, not in a perfect way, but in an honorable and an integral way that was honorable and integral to God, the God within him. Even though in the face of people, maybe much of what Jacob did looked disintegrous. But to the laws of God and the God within him, Jacob stood in all integrity. Even with Laban and working off of the negative action in buying Esau's birthright, Jacob didn't steal Esau's birthright. Jacob bought Esau's birthright. I don't know where we're getting this Jacob stole his birthright from. Jacob bought Esau's birthright. And even though buying it went against the hierarchical system of God, Jacob had to work off that debt. And he did, honestly and integrally. Yet God would come upon Jacob and tell Jacob, while with Laban, that it will be time to leave Laban. Surely you've spent a lot of time here, but it's time to leave. And Jacob leaves. And then Jacob goes and he's afraid and he has this war with this angel. And he finds himself having to face his fears, and he does. And he moves forward and he's renamed. But what we find in the testament of Jacob is something very compelling. We find that Jacob's angel that has been with Jacob since the time he was born is speaking with him. Yes, what we find here is that Jacob would encounter an aspect of his own self that would tell Jacob that he would be transitioning as well. And that at this transitionary point, because it's so close, this aspect of his own self, this aspect of his self that goes before him and clears the path, this aspect of him that tells him vital information that he needs to know at pivotal times so that he has the advantage. And this aspect is saying, I'm going to part ways from you now. It's been good knowing you, friend. This walk has been monumental that you and I have had. How wonderful has this walk been? This angel will come upon Jacob and say, come forward from Jacob and say, we have done a monumental thing, me and you in this life. Thank you for trusting me the way that you have. It is you being able to trust me and me being able to take control of certain situations that has given us the glory. And this glory has given the glory to God. And because of this, God is so very proud of you. God loves you, friend. The heavens are cheering you on. They are applauding you in the invisible. You just don't know it. But I know it because that's my goal. That's my job. That's why I was put upon you. Is to be that aspect of the heavenly realms in your life in real time, giving you the ability to succeed. But had you not been able to hear me, had you denied me, I could have done nothing for you. This is the angel. Chapter 2 of the Testament of Jacob. Do not fear, verse 4. Do not fear, O Jacob. Verse 6. I am the messenger who has been walking with you and guarding you from your infancy. I announced that you would receive the blessing of your father and of Rebekah, your mother. This is the angel that's saying that Rebekah said God was God. Rebekah considered this angel God when she got the word of what was going on in her womb and the paths that her children would take. But this angel is saying that it was him. I am the one who was with you, O Israel, in all your acts and in everything which you have witnessed. He's saying, there's not one thing you've done in this life that I was not there witnessing. I witnessed everything you witnessed. I was with you when you did everything. I saved you from Laban when he was endangering you and pursuing you. At that time, I gave you all his possessions and blessed you, your wives, your children, and your flocks. This is saying that this angel that is walking with Jacob had full authority. And it was even able to go amongst other people and wage war with or come to terms of agreement with their angels as well on behalf of Jacob. I am the one who saved you from the hand of Esau. I am the one who accompanied you to the land of Egypt, O Israel, and a very great people was given to you. Blessed is your father Abraham, for he has become the friend of God. May he be exalted because of his generosity and love of strangers. Blessed is your father Isaac who begot you, for he was a perfect sacrifice, acceptable to God. Blessed are you also, O Jacob, for you have seen God face to face. You saw the messenger of God. May he be exalted. And you saw the ladder standing firm on the ground with its top in the heavens. Then you beheld the Lord sitting at its top with a power which no one could describe. You spoke out and said, this is the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. This angel, when this angel is speaking to Jacob of this dream and him seeing the ladder, I spoke to this in the Bible study yesterday. If you'd like to learn more about it, please listen to my previous commentary. Jacob has had this dream of the ladder, and this angel is giving Jacob a full rundown of everything that he has seen. This angel is telling Jacob at the end of Jacob's life, friend, I've been with you through it all. Friend, we've had a monumental walk, friend. There's never been a dull moment. And you know why? Because you gave me access. You didn't try to fix it yourself. You knew I was with you. And you trusted me. He's saying, I saw what you saw in that dream. I felt what you felt while you were seeing what you saw in that dream. I saw how it lingered with you days, months, weeks, years after you saw it. I felt what you felt when you vowed to God after seeing the dream. I could distinguish if it were true or if it were false. It is me that knows the truth of you. It is me that can distinguish the deception if you have any. It is this angel that we have at birth that goes before us. Just as the shield, the man with the shield went before Goliath when he was fighting David, this angel we have goes before us. It is our shield. It is our bestie. It is the closest person, comrade, ally we have in this life, friend. And I'm here to tell you that some of us have a mighty angel. Some of us have angels that are mightier than we are. Our angel puts us in situations and we're like, wait a minute. How did I get in this? I don't know what's going on here, y'all. I want to apologize to you guys because I really did not intend on being over here with you. But I'm going to head out. Our angel is the one that says, no, we're not heading out. We came and we saw and we're going to conquer. That is, some of our angels are like that. This is what is being conveyed here to Jacob at the end of Jacob's walk. And it is for us to be able to see that we too have such things. Jacob is not any different than any of us. If Jacob would not have conceded to the wisdom of the angel, he would have been just like everybody else. What made Jacob great was the fact that he was able to align properly to all the weaponry that God would give him at birth. He would not deactivate his weaponry like Esau. He would align to his weaponry. And it would be him and his weaponry against any and everybody that came against them. David the same way. It is this angel that goes before you, that sees every aspect of you. Friend, it is the angel that saw you when you was robbing that store. He was right there with you, friend. He know what made you get to that place. He was with you when you planned it. He was with you when you were in there stealing them people's stuff. Friend, it's that angel that was with you when you went to the club and were partying, looking for somebody to help you cover them bills. It was the angel that was with you. And the angel did not judge you, friend. The angel said, okay, well, we'll take what we can get. She's working on her self-esteem. This is the low level aspect that we're dealing with right now. This is the fundamentals. She's going out amongst people and competing for the attention of men. And she's using her self-esteem to strengthen her so that she feels comparable and capable to garner the attention of these guys, because she needs things done. Let's keep it a buck. I'm not here to placate with you. We've been there and done that. And this angel is with you when you go through all the mundane stuff, the little small stuff that allow you to build your inner confidence up, so that you can get to a level of ascension where you graduate from the mundane stuff and you move into the big leagues, the stuff that matters. You start moving in purpose. You're not doing the little mundane stuff anymore because it doesn't serve you. You've graduated intellectually. You've graduated spiritually. You're no longer interested in that type of dynamic. It doesn't do nothing for you. You don't need to compete against your friends in your friend circle anymore. You've already done that. It's beneath you at this point. Now you're competing against you. All of these things I'm bringing up are to let you know who you are fundamentally. All of us are different. We have different aspects, but fundamentally, we are all the same. All of us are born with an internal angel. All of us. It is a gift. It is the gift of God in this life. And this angel has been with you through everything you've been through in this life. You cannot hide anything you've ever done from this angel. I don't care what the sciences of Babylon have created to try to hide it from your mind and to erase it. It's only temporary. Once you get to the end of your journey, like Jacob, it all floods back in. You can never get rid of it. And that is what we are seeing here. This angel is always with you. And in you aligning to this angel, most of your battles you do not have to face. All you got to do is know. I don't care if it's the witch, the warlock, the shaman, the pastor, the family member, the person in the community. I don't care who it is. Anything and everything, whether they come to bless you or whether they come to curse you or harm you, your angel knows of them. And if your angel does not know of them per se, you finding out about them and putting it on your mental radar alerts your angel to them. And your angel can get in the mix of that and go before you and see beyond what you see and hear beyond what you hear. The angel goes before you like a shield, clearing your path because you and your angel are one, friend. This is the whole word that I have for you today. So when you look at your who, your first thing you want to hammer out is, who am I? What do I have? Am I alone in this? And I'm here to tell you, you're never alone. There are many that walk with you. And you can hear them when you learn how to hear them. And to learn how to hear them is to be able to control your mind, to silence the noise and the chaos and the chatter of your own mind. You can do this through meditation. You can do this with sitting still and focusing your thoughts are a form of meditation. You don't have to sit in your knees crossed and chanting or humming. You don't have to do that. Driving home from work or driving in your car with the windows rolled up and the radio off and focusing your thought is a form of meditation. Controlling your mind is meditative thought. It's very important that you begin to evaluate yourself and go beyond the layers of you that you have picked up to cover the truest aspect of you throughout the walks of your life. Unravel and pull back those layers like pulling back the layers of an onion, one layer at a time. And this goes all the way back to your most vulnerable years, your childhood years. And then you pulling this back, these layers back, I guarantee you, you will find that angel, that aspect of yourself that is speaking to Jacob at the end of his life. And that is telling him, friend, I've been with you all through it. What closer relationship do you have? This same angel Rebecca would consider God. It is God. It's a messenger of God. It's another aspect of God realized within you that has been with you from the moment you came out of your mother's womb. It has served its purpose. It served its purpose all throughout your life. But most importantly, it had its most power in your life before you were able to really make decisions for yourself. And then you took the wheel. And if you're anything like me, people will tell you, oh, you got to put away that childish stuff. You need to grow up. You got to start acting more mature. And in my mind, mature was putting away my internal friend. Not really being who I was anymore. Because the world saw it as childish. Now I got to act a certain way. Okay, I got to act like I don't care. Instead of laughing and being silly, because I was goofy. I was a goofy person. I still am. I was goofy. I could sit up and talk. I find humor in everything. But they would, oh, you're not mature. You got to stop doing that. So I stopped. And I put on all these different layers. All these different layers. Layers of the pretty girls that I would see, okay, I'm going to take that aspect and I'm going to be that. Okay, and then I'm going to have this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. All these layers I put on. And then I go in and out of experiences, and I wouldn't, some of them would be very hurtful, and I put upon layers upon myself so that I could still go through those experiences, and if they ever befell me again, I have many layers put up on me so that they wouldn't bother me as much. Lies, deception. I mean, they weren't outright lies, but they were not truthful. They weren't who I am. Many of us do this, and we find ourselves along the way in a peculiar place where we're like, I don't know what this is. I don't want this anymore. I've forgotten the old me, but I know this me that I am is becoming problematic because I really don't want it. I'm tired of it. And you began to default back. You began to pull back the layers and uncover that which has always been there. But that did not force you to acknowledge it because you knew all the answers. You were going to do it your way. And many of us, all of us rather, need to do it our way for a season. And we get full of doing it our way. And then we will avidly search for that which was always there. We will avidly search for it. We will come to know that what was always there was the main ingredient all along. I didn't need all of this stuff. I've acquired all this stuff for what? I don't even need it. I don't care about putting that stuff on. It doesn't make me feel great like I thought it would, and like it did in an old season. It does nothing for me. This is when that aspect of you shines the brightest. And this is that aspect that is speaking to Jacob. And I wanted to lead in my Stand in Your Purpose and give this aspect the first episode of this series because it is so vitally important. Friend, this angel that is with you will go before you and stand tall with you through the many storms of your life. It stands the tallest throughout the many storms of your life. Giants, or what look like giants, will come amongst you. Wild beasts of the field will roar and show their teeth and will frighten you. And this angel will lay them down for you and lead you right through it. But the only way this angel is able to do that is if you give it access to do it. Not an outside angel, not some angel you got to go be introduced by somebody else to and that you must invoke in. This is an internal angel. This is you and you alone. And this is what is being conveyed here in the testament of Jacob. This is my episode 1 for you today, not long-winded. Excited about the next episode as to the why. Have a wonderful day. You're loved more than you'll ever know. Be good to yourselves and be good to one another. Peace and love.